Welcome back to another behind-the-scenes look at Titansgrave, Geek and Sundry's new tabletop RPG show. I'm your host, Stef Woodburn, and today we're staying right here on the spectacular set of Titansgrave to interview our production designer, Jeff Flint. While the set looks amazing now, it didn't always look like this. Let's take a look. So tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, we build sets, we design sets, we fabricate them. We take what's in the director or producer's head and we make it real life.
This is quite a big vision of real life. It's bigger than the average set for a show such as this.
It is, but I saw the size and the specs of the stage and I said, you know what, let's use all of it. So when I start looking at a set, my first drawing is usually a viewpoint from like a one-point perspective of like what we would think of as a box, so a room. And then you look at what you need to do with that room and then you go, oh crap, we need some coverage. We need to see from all different angles and we're not gonna be able to see it if there's a wall in our way.
Because they're playing the game,
right.
And you want to get each player and get the view and a background view of them.
Exactly, so we have 4 players and then 1 host in this game, so that's 5 people. So to see 5 people and to get coverage of each person, I realize I'm gonna need to move some walls, but we want to use those walls still, so I started to open it up into more of a W shape than a U shape. I had my plan in advance, and I finally got the specs for the stage about a week ahead of time for building this thing. And so then I also came down and took a physical look at it. And there's only one minor tweak that I did because there's another set that's behind this one. So without having to break that one down, we decided to figure out a way to turn our entire set so that we can allow for them to stay standing there and still fit this gigantic behemoth. The actual colors on this are going to be kind of cool based, and it'll be interesting once you see it next. But right now it's just a blank wall. It's a blank canvas for us.
It is, but there's these different alcoves, which is a really interesting thought. Now, there's each alcove has its own personality, has its own flavor?
That's correct. The genesis of this is that it's a game room, but it's a game room for many kinds of games. So in the background of one little alcove, you'll see a bunch of arcade games and pinball games. In the other alcove over here, you might see some more sculptures and more set dressing kind of stuff. So each little zone that you see, a little alcove, has a different purpose and a different dressing and a different look. And I have 2 shoppers out right now getting all of my couches and chairs and coffee tables and elements, and they're pricing all that for me.
They're running up and down La Brea or wherever for
mostly prop houses and furniture places. We have a certain style that we're going with, so we have a punch list that we're trying to fill that's not only design accurate, but also fits our budget. So we have to kind of hit 2 things at the same time.
How much did the backstory of the game and the world of the game, does that impact your design the style?
It does, yeah. We didn't want to try to emulate the game too much, but we wanted to let it influence the color choices, the style choices, having hard edge elements and industrial elements in the game flavored some of the way we want to do some of the dressing. But what we didn't want to do was start to make it look like a fantasy sci-fi kind of a set. We start to lose the integrity of where they're at. This is a game room lounge that has some hard edges and some wood, some metal, some stuff like that, but it doesn't have a lot of the fantasy elements you'd find in the game.
Awesome. Is there any part of the set design that you particularly love, whether it was the past 3 weeks coming up with the design, whether it's the actual build process that you're going through now?
The best part is working with these guys.
Oh yeah.
My crew that's hard at work, I'm sure you've seen them in some of the other shots. These guys are the best. The second best part is seeing if all the parallax angles make sense, if the beams work out. It's having the design concept come out in reality and seeing a side-by-side of what it really looks like versus the design and going, hey, check it out, that actually worked. It worked exactly like how we thought it was gonna work. And that's always a high-five moment, so that's really cool.
Thanks for joining us on our behind-the-scenes look at the set of Titansgrave, Ashes of Volcana. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe for more episodes of Titansgrave. I'm Stef Woodburn. You can find me on Twitter at Stef Woodburn, S-T-E-F Woodburn.